This is Red, White, and Bluegrass.
Kentucky's auditor announced this week that the office is launching an inquiry over the state's failure to implement a kinship care law passed this year. Senate Bill 151 is meant to expand benefits of foster care to a child's relatives in an effort to keep kids from going into the system and staying with someone they know. Lawmakers have held multiple hearings trying to understand why. The Beshear administration has said there was a funding gap of $20 million and that lawmakers were informed before the budget was finalized during the session. Some frustrated lawmakers believe the administration could do more to implement the law, like applying for federal funds. Auditor Allison Ball says she will be looking into whether the cabinet already has the money to implement the law.
At this point, we are going to make all attempts to make this a collaborative effort with the governor and CHFS, but rest assured we're going to do everything that we can to figure out the facts that you need to know and the facts that Kentucky needs to know, and so this can be implemented.
Lawmakers believe with an independent inquiry they will be able to get more facts about what's going on. Senator Thomas, I'll begin with you here. What do you see ultimately being the end result of what's going on here? How does this end?
Bodie, we've talked about this before in July. The legislature, and I'm a member of the legislature, we just did not do the job. You know, we passed a law. I voted for the law. I think we ought to keep children with families, but we didn't finish the measure by appropriating the money necessary to fund what needed to be funded. And Secretary Ball wanted to get information about why the money hadn't been funded. Governor Beshear told her in a letter, it's because I don't have the authority to do that, to give you the information, because when you move the ombudsman's responsibilities to your office, that wasn't translated in the statute, so I can't give you that private information. So this is just a political play by Allison Ball now, just to kind of another dig at the governor. It's frustrating to see this, but that's all it is, just a political dig by Secretary Ball against Governor Beshear.
Representative Maddox, how political is it to you?
There's no question that outcomes are improved for children who are removed from their home if they are allowed to stay with another family member, someone close to them. So given that this legislation passed unanimously, we're obviously in agreement that this is something worthwhile. But the problem becomes the fact that when we passed this, there actually had to be a committee substitute based on the request that was made by Secretary Friedlander on behalf of the Cabinet for Health and Family Services to settle outstanding fiscal matters at that time. We made those changes, and we were under the impression that those requirements were met and that everything was taken care of. And then we are now told that there's a $20 million shortfall. And in reality, there needs to be a closer look, and I'm grateful that the auditor is doing that. There needs to be a closer look at the way that they are spending their general fund dollars so that we can get the job done and get these children and their families taken care of.
The idea has been floated of possibly reopening the budget. How likely is that to occur in the 25 session?
I think we'll do it in 2025, and we'll get this matter resolved once and for all. As I told you, Bodie, months ago, we could have a special session, come back in special session, and get this corrected very easily. For whatever reason, Speaker Osborne, President Stivers didn't see fit to sit down with Governor Beshear and try to work that out. And so now we wait till January. But fortunately now, January's not that far away.
What do you see happening in January?
I think that the discussions that have taken place up to this point about applying for federal dollars or looking in general fund to see if there's any type of money, that's something that we have to get to the bottom of, and I think that Auditor Ball is going to be able to do that and give us a clearer picture of what we're working at, because before we even talk about opening the budget, we need to make sure that the tax dollars, because these are tax dollars that have been taken from Kentuckians in order to provide care, that they are being spent appropriately. And I understand that not all pots of money are the same and that you can't necessarily take from this program and give to this program, but the cabinet needs to do everything that it can to make it work expediently right here and now so that these children get the care that they need and their families get the assistance that the legislation would provide them.
All right, thank you all both for your insight. We'll be right back.